Hello, everyone. So, this is about learning a lock. Um, Basically, you can learn how to open a particular lock pretty quickly when you practice on it. And what had been getting me up on this lock was I was wondering, why am I only having to pick 4 pins? And the reason is the bitting. Pin 1 is actually this cut. It fooled me. I was thinking that pin 1 was this. I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought 6 was this guy over here. It's not. If you look at the cuts up here, I don't know if you can see it. This is almost like a 0 cut right here. I mean, it's just barely there. That's pin 1. So on this lock, you've got a set pin 1, which is a standard pin. Then the next binder will be pin 2. The next binder after that will be pin 3. The next binder after that will be pin 4, and bam, it opens. You do not have to touch these two. Those are actually really good overset traps. If you touch them, you're going to overset the lock. But because they're way down here, you don't have to touch them. If you do everything right on the first 4 pins, you'll open the lock. So it just depends on your bitting. It depends on the lock. If they would have changed that bitting around and made one of those last pins a high cut, then this Tron probably wouldn't have had enough lift. It probably would have overset the other ones. Also, there's a difference between the first click on a pin, like this one, and the set click. So sometimes I was messing around with it, and I wasn't pushing it. You got to push that sucker all the way up there. Once you got him set, then it's just a matter of going against your spools. That's one. I mean, that was pin 2, but that's one of the spools. Here comes pin 3. He's counter-rotating. I feel other pins falling back, so I didn't get this one right. But if you do it correctly, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the lock's open. I was messing around with it today, and I think I was just kind of like looking at my watch, trying to time it. And it was like a minute is what I was getting it down to, sometimes 30 seconds. But that's the difference between, I don't know anybody on YouTube from our regular group, of pickers and everything that does that, as far as like stage locks. Everybody's pretty much straightforward and honest about what they're doing, and we don't have any, I haven't run into any, at least my subscribers or people I watch, that make things look good for themselves. See, now that's a set. That's a set on 1 because I got a turn on the core and everything. If I do this right, then it's just a matter of going to pin 2. You can see the counter. That's pin 2. Pin 3 should be the next binder. I didn't get this one right. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate a real fast opening for you. It still takes, like I said, even if you practice on a lock and mess around with it, you still then have to deal with the camera. So I mean, you could be perfect on this and still have to deal with the camera. Your unknown variable there, which will change things on you. There we go. We got that pin 1 set. That's the most important on these 80 Ti-50s, is getting pin 1 set first. No matter what the binding order is, you get him set. Pin 2 was a spool, and it just touched him, and he went further into a false set. And then here's a really hard binder on 3, and open. I guess that was 4. So once again, if you just look at the bitting, this is the highest one that you've got to set. as soon as you've got him set, you go in. This he's in the way. He's hanging down, and he says, like, pick me, pick me. As soon as you touch him, you get counter rotation. So you pick that one, you drop right over. He's out of the way. Then you go to the next one. You'll feel counter rotation. And sometimes this is like getting both of them when I'm lifting up. Like sometimes if I'm back here and I'm doing lifting, I'm getting both of them. But it really only feels like 3 or 4 pins. And that's simply because, like I said, of the bitting on this particular lock and key. So this lock went from something that I was like, man, I can't get this thing. I don't know what it is about it. Watch videos and everything else and couldn't get it. And finally, just sat down and said, all right, I'm going to get this sucker one way or another. And like I said, the first time when I opened it, I went, wait a minute, I didn't even hit pin 5 and 6. But sometimes you get lucky as far as like bitting goes, if you're trying to pick it. That really, this is all the lock consists of, is those first 4 pins. It's basically a 4-pin lock on this particular one, just because of the bitting. So there you go. Just thought I'd throw that one in there for you, just in case you're wondering. So I was told today that this whole warehouse is no more. We're not going to build those. I mean, they're still going to have the warehouse, but we're not going to do these bag things. I think we'll still be making triangles, but and the supervisor ain't going to be a supervisor no more. They're going to put him over there and make him be a worker. So all you got to do is survive long enough and things will change. And basically now I'm going to go from what I know to what I don't know. I don't know anything about that other factory. So, but that's all right. So yeah, this whole factory here, they're probably just going to store stuff from the other warehouses, but they're going to eliminate these. If you eliminate these bags, then you don't need that printer anymore. You don't need those coil machines. Basically, all the things that Don's was learning about training about how to do this job. Unless he learned about triangles, which I don't think I showed him too much on that. He's gonna have to work somewhere else. You hear that guy yelling in the background? That's the boss. Anyway, there you go. There's a little update. My work area for the last 2 years is gonna change.